welcome to another episode of my Overwatch League analysis series called Dissection of Violence. And today, I'll do something a little bit different. I'll probably gonna go through the whole map of this particular match, the Nambani match, uh, between Houston and Seoul that just happened very recently, well, yesterday, I guess. But let's dive right into it. Obviously, the focus of this match and going to set is gonna be the effectiveness of Ryu Hong, and I also want to go over like how Houston have been unable to play the game that they are supposed to play, and why is the struggle so bad this particular stage. Let's get right down to it. Okay, so obviously, yep. So Dynasty, they going with an aggressive dive style with Gambler and Guido on support. Ryu Hong being the monkey, and in Houston Outlaws, they have Jake on Junkrat, Linkzo on Widow, and Benny and Raucus on their usual role. Uh, One of the thing that I think is very interesting because if you look at this is very much like Houston Outlaws comp in the stage one. It's like they have Jake on Junkrat, they have Linkzer and Widow, and this comp doesn't particularly work well in this particular map. Personally, I think of that because if you usually watch how the other team play this particular map, usually instead of the Widow as the hit scan, they usually have the 76 instead, and instead of a Junkrat, they usually have a Tracer instead. Now, because they are playing this particular comp, their positioning is going to be significant, like significantly different. Like for example, you see here, you have Kumat here, you have Muma here playing around kind of around this side, and you have Benny and Raucus playing around on the far back, which is a little bit of a questionable position, I would say. Uh, because if you like with the team that usually use like Tracer and 76, they usually are gonna play around this side more, where they're gonna play around these particular high ground. If they're gonna dive, they're gonna jump down onto this side, and they're gonna try to contest the map in this particular area where they can stay safe and still abuse the range a little bit. But with the Outlaws, what they are calling the Doomon is they doing kind of more of a pincer style of defense, which is okay, I guess, but it's not the most effective one in my opinion because you see like the supporters are all the way down there. You have Jake here, obviously Linkzer is also somewhere down there. They are trying to play early up in this high ground with and then try to control this particular area. And earlier you obviously see Jake with a trap right here so that they can prevent flankers and give some alert if there's a flanker this high. Personally, I don't really like this because in Nimbani it is a very open map. So okay, there's some sideline for the Widow to play where you can play a far right from down here, and there's some sideline in B as well, but it's not as good as say Junkertown. At the same time, check Junktrap. Like he can control the small little gap here. He can also like spam grenade down here, but he is kind of shit out of luck if there's a fire. And obviously, with Outlaws having the Widow here, obviously they thought of that. But at the same time, like there's a lot of like hugging area here where the Farah can just spam shit down, and you're just gonna have to depend a lot on Linkzer to play against that threat. But that's enough about Outlaws comp and why I don't think it's a good comp in this map. But let's continue. Obviously, yeah, you have Linkzer all the way down there. They're gonna try to play up. Linkzer get Ghetto. Okay, but very easy res. now we back into
So Soul
6v6.
Dynasty now. Again, like we discussed sort of earlier on.
Okay, as you can see here, their positioning, they use both the tank and the play around this side. They have Linzer and check kind of check around this part. They have the flex support all the way back there, which I thought was a bit of a donker, but I guess they are playing around Linzer's ability to shut down these lanes. That's not very surprising.
It's very much about scouting the enemy Winston when you sort of go into these lineups. Soul want to know where Moomer is because they need to know where the counter punch will originate.
Okay, there's Munchin
So he's
coming
obviously up
in.
there, sort of sitting up on that high ground.
They okay. So this attack, they so sent Fleta and Munchkin all the way down to this side where they gonna start pressuring the three-man teams up Rockers, Benny, and Linzer. And immediately they have to relinquish their position from all the way back here because if they going inside the little house, it's very close quarter combat and it's not very good. It's not a very good place to defend yourself, and also for the fact that like there's nobody that can come in all the way from here all the way down here to help you. So obviously they have to rotate around the side and play around in this particular area, particular gate where there's somewhat of a sideline all the way down here to defend. And obviously you have Junkrat just spamming nade down here and putting traps so that you can dissuade people from jumping in. But it also put your back against the wall inside here, which means that if there's a case where one of the tank in here die, and they jump back. It's like it's gonna be a fucking brawl inside this place. And even though obviously you have Junkrat in here that can output a lot of damage in close range. Dive aggressiveness is still gonna win out, and obviously with Widow you need range in order to actually fucking work. And if you can, and you can just unscope and shoot. But anyway, this. As far as souls go, they decide to do a bit of pincer right here. So obviously now they are trying to draw the Houston Outlaw into where they want the fight to be, which is in the point right here. If you for a comparison, if you notice how other team fight in the money, usually like I said earlier, the defender gun here, they're gonna drop down here, they're gonna try to control this little area, while the attacking team gonna try to muscle in their way and also put pressure on the back line. It's still kind of same thing. The attacker will wants to fight on point, and the defenders gonna try to fight in a way that allow them to contest the point, but will leave them minimal role to be get dove on. And right now, Houston Outlaws, even though their positioning right now is kind of okay, they are at risk of being dove on because there's no exit route around here. Like obviously there's a row all the way down here, but it isn't very expedient. If you defend round here, then you can just dash back to where your players are gonna respawn back, so it helps. But in here, you're gonna have to go all the way. It is a very wrong and arduous route, so it's not very good.
It has already gotten into the back lines here,
So now you have So jumping in. Rujihong actually managed to stuff Rockers, Benny, Linzer, and Check inside this area, which is very good because now this is gonna devolve into a brief 2-4 where Muma and Kumat is gonna have to deal with like Zunba, Guido, Gambler, and potentially Munchkin. This is one of the more. This is in a team fight in Overwatch. There's a concept called mismatch, where sometimes what you are trying to do is not trying to make a full 6v6 fight, but what you want to do is try to pick small mismatches where, say, you put the tank versus the one or the two support, so that for a brief moment, if like you can occupy them long enough, then you can use the rest of the team to make it a 5v4 fight versus the rest of the other team. And this is kind of a concept that Houston Outlaw tend to do with Muma, because in previous stage Muma tend to go for a very flanking style of dive, and also there's Kuman as well. So Houston tend to do this a lot, but one other thing about Houston is that their mechanical ceiling is not very high. So if the other team are using the same strat as them, but better mechanical skill and cohesion, they're gonna fall. So let's go forward with this first though.
He's going to try and
So
follow up Jehon.
honestly, okay, you have Raucus. I don't know what happened there, but he shouldn't. He should honestly shouldn't die there. He might be get poked down first by Munchkin because obviously he have to while he rotate all the way here. He probably get poked down a little bit, and then Rujion just jump in and kill him. Which and this kind of highlight that I think Raucus is one of the worst positional Zenyatta in the league, except for free field obviously, because now Benny have been underperforming quite hard, so Benny can just like rest him willy nilly. So now this is like another aspect of Houston Outlaw have been rather bad lately. So now the team fight already devolved to a 5v6. Now they got in this particular area here. They have Jake, they have Mume, they have Laser, they have Banny. They have four in here. Four are trapping in this particular room. They Fleda and Ruji Hong is putting a lot of pressure in here so that they can exactly just like going straight back and engage. Meanwhile, Kumat out here, he is getting pressure by Zunba, Guido, Gambler, and potentially Munchkin, assuming he isn't just coming in here and try to flank around the side or something. So again, this is very much a really good temporary mismatch for the Soul Dynasty, and also like this is just bad rotation mistake from Outlaw rotating all of their team inside the little palace where they can get focused down.
Trap on the ground.
Continue. So Lisa kill Gambler.
Made there by Jake. He's going to nimbly jump.
Zumba however kill
Really good
Movement.
shake.
There's
Back by
Mr.
Jake.
Jake.
Oh, is he in big trouble? No. He's going to have...
Yeah, so that was a bit of a tray right there, but now you have Kumat dying. Ruja Hong just dove Lingzer because Banny tried to rest Mumen, so there's nobody to pocket Lingzer. And now, like as you can see here, you have Zunba focusing on here. You have Munchkin pushing on here. You have obviously Guido coming on here. I'm not quite sure where Ruji Hong is. He probably on the side right here after doving Lingzer. But again, at this point, Houston Outlaw they don't have a lot of. They have some control on the point, but everyone is shooting at them. Like this whole area right here is a fucking death trap. If you compare it to like this corner right here, what the defense in here usually do is that they gonna play around this little corner. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, probably not the ringtone I want to hear, but anyway. So usually, what the defense in the Bonnie, what they want to do is that they try to play minimal. They're gonna contest the point around this corner, but they're gonna use this wall here as a cover so that they can shoot in and then expose themselves minimally. But with Houston Outlaw putting themselves in this particular corner is like they have absolutely no corner to control. They have absolutely no corner to protect themselves, and then everyone are just putting a lot of suppression into the point. And worst of all, you have Banny here, you have Jack here, you have Movement here. Like there's no way for them to fight back. Like what is Jack gonna do? Like spam grenade into this particular corner, into all the way down here, and then hoping that maybe it would get somebody. That's not a very good plan and good positioning to go with. But anyway, let's just continue. Continue with this.
Done. However, still going to be Munchkin now pushing the back line. And Ruben's kind of on his own out there. You can see he's very much
Get
being
Muma, try
besieged.
to come back.
Big remove from the
Get
situation
smoked
now.
by
Jacob Barney has to set up
Munchkin.
inside the atria.
And as you can see,
Area
here, Jake
really
and Benny have really no recourse. Well, they're gonna die.
Jake gets onto the point
It's
here.
going to be it.
He's trying to contest for Houston. That's pretty much it, though. So they had their supports in the main street.
Now they cap the point. So now at this point, I would kind of expect Houston Outlaw to change the com a little bit because
Houston was actually playing
okay,
format
like for example, and let me just scroll back to better POV.
They had their supports in the main street, Mitch. They had Munchkin and Zunba go into the back, and Houston was actually.
So alright, so in this particular section of the map, there's a few places where Widow can be really good. You can abuse the Starlight from here to here. You can abuse Starlight from all the way back there to all the way here. You can obviously abuse the Starlight from here to here and there to here. So there's a couple of sideline where a Widow can be really effective, assuming that of course Banny, the Mercy is gonna pocket it Linzer properly. They are in a range where they can maximize their attack without Banny compromising healing onto either Rockers or the main tank or Jake. And at the same time, you can their position should also be in a way where Rockers can also put Discord on because. You put Discord, you put fully charged shot with the Mercy builds. It's gonna kill every single squishy with a body shot. So obviously this whole comp right here is gonna be playing around this, and with Jake being a Junkrat, they're gonna try to play counter dive where Jake's gonna just try to spam shot down here, which is obviously not a good place because there's way open, there's less of a choke point. So they're gonna try to play very passively. Jake gonna spam shot to try to suppress and burn down the tank up and then he gonna reserve the trap and a concussion mine to dissuade any flankers that is gonna come in to try to kill to try to put pressure on Linzer. But outside that, there's not Houston can't exactly be aggressive with this comp, which is gonna be a better problem in this particular phase. Because in this phase, ideally you can only have two team fight. Either you're gonna have a team fight here, or you're gonna have a team fight here. If they can be aggressive, they're gonna have to like try to push in hard to actually start a card right here, while set Linzer and everyone else up down here so that they can probably control the attacking lane. But now with Jake going to Tracer. They obviously gonna try to have Jake kind of play control, prevent Munchkin from flanking behind, and obviously try to keep Linzer and Benny inside.
Move up closer to the corner. They were gonna try and make a play onto the support. Jae-Hung is there as soon as Houston.
But again, they need to be a little aggressive on it because otherwise they're just gonna give up valuable team fight.
Little push that you get there. He's able to knock them out of the way. Then he's able to make his way for a help pack and then jumps up, gets right in Link's face, able to take him out.
So you have Kumad kind of poking around here. Like okay, so they are already set up. They have Muma here. They have Muma here. They have Kumad here. These kind of form barriers. Like in terms of Overwatch, think of the main tank and the off tank as the offensive line. With the main tank being the main offensive line and the Diva being the tight end. The tight end here the tight end, obviously if you guys know American football, the tight end can do a lot of things. He can catch a ball, he can block, he can run, and the same thing with off tank here. With off tank, you can back up your main tank, you can go back and peel for your support, or you can dive in with your main tank to score kill. And so this whole operation with the outlaws rely a lot on having a strong a strong front line, because otherwise Linzer wouldn't be able to have this the range and the space he needed to actually operate. So now outlaw they're gonna try to start playing around this side.
Linksa has that one active currently. Just timed out now.
Yeah.
You will see Flutter play Widow for Salt Dynasty now. Just played the Genji from point A to get up towards that.
Oh, and here's talk about bad positioning from bad positioning. Okay, so you have Linza and Banny gonna play around the side, and you have Mr. Kumat right here playing around all the way that far over here. Now first, whether you play that far with this wall right here, like you can't see shit. Like as a flex support, you need to play in a range where A, you gotta be safe from all of the diving, and B, you need to be able to see everyone else and to actually heal. And like in this corner, he is so scared of being dove on, but he doesn't have the support he needs because Banny is too busy pocketing Lingza. Like he should honestly be all the way down here so that they can be a 3-man teams that actually fire. But it is what it is. Mr. Rockers in here. You have the main tank at play over here. Like the Houston Owls positioning is completely ass cracked.
High ground. Now has a little bit better sight lines here as we move in from point A to point B.
They put the main tank. So the Houston Owl putting tank in here. You have Lingza all the way there. Getting counter sniped, but I want to see this a little bit. Okay. So. Alright, so after what I said, you have he actually kind of rotate all the way around here, which is good. Now they decided to just kind of jump back over here and try to play over here, which I think is a bit of a mistake because they were putting some pressure into Fleta and Zunba, as you can see with Zunba helping kind of going low right here. So that's why I feel I have to use a hook shot to actually get a good flank line. So now Flutter get shot by Lingzer. Yes, again. So now it's going to 66. And if you notice here, the moment when Rujihong dove in, you get Kumat coming back here to peel. You have Muma also coming back here to peel, while Zunba is getting distracted by Jake. This is one of the this is a good decision from Outlaw, obviously, because they need Lingzer up, and also at the same time they need to occupy Seoul Dynasty enough so that they can exactly capitalize on the rest cooldown being off. Obviously, Region die. This is kind of weird up a self-destruct because here.
We really haven't seen Fleta beat a huge highlighter since stage 1, maybe halfway through stage 2.
Like okay, like he is standing down here, and honestly, I don't think he should have died, but he died anyway. So now team fight kind of devolved a little bit. At this point, Seoul are losing 2 people. Houston Outlaw have 1, but right now Outlaw is not trading very efficiently because obviously, they are the attacker, they are the defender, and with Seoul Dynasty being the attacker, they can just reinforce it really quick. So now Fleta down, Munchkin down. Right now they don't. Right now is gonna devolve a little bit.
Fleta wasn't ready for that one. Clearly, no resurrect here coming out from Seoul. Gambler's not gonna bring him back into the fight.
So Gambler, not quite sure why Gambler decided to do that. I guess here they try. Okay, this is a bit of a question mark for me here. You have Gambler obviously activate the Valkyrie to get a rest up there, which is fine. Now, why is Gideon decided to trans right here? So one of my biggest pet peeve is team double support out right away. It's like Fleta die in a position where there would be nobody try to dove on him in case that he get rest. So I don't know why they need to use the trance here.
Uses it here, so Fletter has returned.
Anyway,
Correct,
so
Mercy.
obviously very good
Elvis Gambler dropped back to bring him back.
very good bomb from Zumba here. Let me just look at the position a little bit.
Fletter wasn't ready for that one, clearly. No
So you have
resurrect here.
Kumat,
Coming out from the side,
Muma,
Gambler's
the
looking
main
to bring
tank
him
over
back
down
into the
here. You have Lisa over there, you have Banny, and obviously you have Raucus. They're gonna play around this side. Now, the problem with playing on this side in a little bit too is that your exit route is gonna be either over here or going down here. So when Zumba put the self-destruct right here, it's actually cover all the range. So unless you're like behind the Rhino or inside here, you're gonna get caught. And
also has a transcendence. He uses it here, so Fletter has returned.
so he
Correct,
coming
myself,
right
is Gambler
here.
dropped
Benny gets stuck on
to bring him back
one side there.
into the fight.
So he
And
got
Bunny,
wrecked.
everyone's dying here to the most random of
So
things.
and then Raucus for some weird reason decided to go into the car to contest instead of the tank to contest. Not quite sure why. And there's Lingzer, the hiding, trying to play around this side and lose a point blank duel with Mr. Fletter.
Use the Valkyrie to obviously provide more
Like
heal
this,
cover for the point, and then also to
yeah, not a very good kind of engage from Outlaws right there. I think the moment where Jake just got shut down, like this, where's all the ball?
with everybody alive. You can see with the pulse bomb there, doesn't use primal rage. Get back to the rest of his team, gives some
So now they're gonna try to contest the team fight right before the end of the street phase.
ult charge to the supports.
Munching with a pulse bomb here, so pretty classic wraparound
Hmm.
strategy, but he
Raucus
notices it.
decided to
So
trance.
First thing he'd run into, he knows this
Okay, they decided to commit to trans to get a hard dive on the back line, but so which is okay. They had to commit out at that point anyway because otherwise they would lose a point. So not very much in common there. They got what they wanted.
That'll be that. Take a look at
Not quite sure why Flair decided to go to escape via a route that is very good for close range flankers, but anyway.
The tough part with Mercy sometimes, if you're using Guardian Angel or if you're actually using the Angelic Descent,
So we just panic
holding
moves.
spacebar, you
Okay,
fly
so now with
slowly.
Outlaws running a calm that really not good for them. Putting Lingzer on Genji and Jake on Tracer, they are already put themselves sort of in a 5v6 situation over here.
This'll get
Okay, so now they're gonna play really close over here. Muma die first. Actually, let me just rotate back a little bit to see where Muma die. Some of the camera is kind of
Holding
shit.
spacebar, you glide very slowly, slowly enough after to be shot
Muma kind of looking around, flanking on the side.
like that.
Muma was very low. Okay.
Slowly enough after to be shot there.
And he finds both supports weak on top.
Yeah, I mean in that case, Flitter wasn't being
Okay, so
popular.
Muma
The
was
Gambler
here.
just low health and out in the open.
Play
The tough
around.
part with
Kumat
Mercy
flanking
sometimes,
on the,
using Guardian Angel
looking
or
at the
actually
other
using
side
Angelic Descent,
of the plane.
holding spacebar, you
Okay,
glide
so
very
Muma
slowly,
get
slowly enough
low
after to be
down
shot.
here. He
Dashed
got low. He jumped in front to contest the cart, and then he got shredded on by Flatter.
This'll get res on up.
Now there's a rest.
Punish that.
This is a signal to come in for
Doesn't seem like Hype
Dynasty.
intended target.
Muma res up and then immediately jump. Use one of his flank jump to kill gamblers, but Munch can kill Muma anyway, and now Guido's gonna have a chance.
Right as that transcendence was being used.
Yeah, Muma being down though as well, so Houston not lacking that main tank presence for the time being, and Bunny's also down to Guido, so no resurrect possibility. Lisa has to make the difference.
Yeah,
but Guido
this play
in the corner.
is kind of
Houston
bad
trying to
from
stay men on the
it's kind of
payload
bad
right
from
now. Munch
Lingza.
getting
It feel like
run around the business.
it feels like
Right,
less up.
too much.
Okay, I know what to
Jake pretty
do,
much had to
Blade,
accept
but
his
it's
fate as
more
well.
up.
3 minutes 30
Oh
on the clock.
shit, their trance is downtime to Blade. If you see what I mean here, because he Blade right after the trance is down is one thing, but it doesn't feel like he knows who he should be killing. Like first, okay, he killed Zunba when Zunba was demag after the Diva bomb, which is fine, and then he kind of have to look around a little bit to see who's gonna kill, but then he got killed by Guido. because
below the boundary.
he took it too long and basically
Early tips.
It's quite telling that Linkster's not playing the Widow into this,
overexposed his
not gonna
play.
opt that Widow battle. Tells me at
Yeah.
least that
Yeah, flanking flatter here, kill Raucus again because Raucus' position is shit. Now
telling
to
that Linkster's
to
not
Raucus
gonna
defense,
opt
this
that
is one
Widow
of flank
battle.
play where I
Tells
don't
me
think
at
he
least
actually know like he with the direction like the team was looking, he didn't really expect that there would be a there would be a flanker around this side gonna kill him. Obviously, you have Banny here who is stuck healing the main tank and laser most of the time. So this is not really on him.
one, they feel
Kill,
like they
gonna
can put
start
a
a
lot of
5-5-6.
pressure on
Check,
with
waste
the
his
Genji
recall.
Tracer combo, but
Okay,
also they feel
here's another thing that I really dislike. As a tracer, you need your cooldowns up before team fight. That's because you have 3 blinks. In a team fight, you gonna use like at least 2 or 3 of them, and so that means you need your recall to actually stay alive, as well as playing in the range of your support. But now Jake, being the master tracer that he is, he used the recall. He used the recall first, while he could just simply dash back and ask Benny for a quick heal. And right at that point, Jake can't exactly be aggressive with his play because even if he gonna play his usual sticky style of tracer, where he just gonna be zone controlling the other tracer, he's gonna be a severe disadvantage if Munchkin have his recall up. Because if Munchkin have his recall up is technically making it between a 150 HP team fight and Munchkin is gonna have like say 250, and that can be and the extra 100 can be a significant different in a tracer duel.
the pressure on Fleta, they're going to be able to get those supports, right?
So again, you need all the cooldown you're gonna need before a team fight.
Their match against
So
London
now we're
yesterday,
gonna
they
be
were
here.
not able to keep those supports alive. It seems like
The Slater position is very good. He plays himself in a way that where that he won't get flanked a lot. If and also if Outlaws, Kuman, Muma, if they want to try to commit and flank to him, they're gonna have to commit a lot. While in the same place right here, like in the back, there's a Mega, so you can just safely shoot down here. And when the card move past here, he can simply just jump up here as well. So this is very good position for them. You also have Munchkin right here, kind of put pressure on the side side. So you have to put Raucus and Banny on edge on the back. So
This is just trying to read what
continue.
London was doing. Jayhong made a pulse bomb there. Didn't seem to
You have the post bomb there, but it seems like what happened here, which Munchkin can Raucus and Zunba can Kuman, is that the moment where Outlaws trying to engage with the Diva Self-Destruct, Munchkin was already in position where since Kuman doesn't have any mech anymore, he just dashing on the side right here, and it just one clip Raucus, the worst positional Zen in the league. And you have Zumba right here, just wait for Kuman to not use his mech and then just dove on him. This is very good. This is very good play coming out.
give too
So
much indigestion thought.
that Diva bomb got
Another one from
nothing.
Munchkin doesn't really find his target, but he's
Guido
still
kill
got the blast.
Lingza,
Fans are gonna refold him.
Banny
Oh, he's
Banny
still
kind of
the back line from Ruben. It's gonna
overextended
hurt.
with his
The
tank.
Discord
So
will make it
now
far
now
easier for Munchkin to finish off that
Munchkin
kill.
got a 15 kill
He's
streak.
doing very well on
So
this map so far, man. 9 final
at
blows
this
to hit
point,
with
seems
explosive
like Munchkin have been
attack.
getting the
Guido
better
with
of
the
Jake,
tries. The Guido
and now they are really on the setup.
is
Setup.
fragging out as well.
Guido's doing a ton of damage here. I mean,
Again,
River
let
Rocket's
kill
still
Raucus. You
3,400
have
to
Mercy
1,600,
and
but they've had a tough
yeah, like in here. Let me just rewind a little bit.
Guido both at 5, so Guido's fragging out as well.
Okay, you have Raucus die there. You have Jake. You have Kumat coming in strike in here. You have Jake right around the side right here. You have right here. With the way Rujian and Munchkin are set up, the moment Outlaw's gonna put in for to contest, Munchkin and Rujihan's gonna try to cut off the back line and the support, and they already got half of their work done because Rocket's there just kill himself.
Ito's doing a ton of damage here. I mean,
Well, not kill himself, I guess, but Flutter kill him. So now it's gonna be Lingzer and Banny in this small room versus Munchkin and Ru Jaehong, and that's gonna be, and this this 2v2 fight here is gonna make Seoul Dynasty have a much better fight in the middle of the point, because if you look at this, you have Banny Lingzer getting occupied by Munchkin and Ru Jaehong, and with the tank with Mr. Winston zapping and Tracer attack damage. They are not gonna go well. At the same time, Gambler and Guido right here, they're gonna have to only deal with Jake on the back line and Muma plus Kumat in the front line. So again, mismatch in a team fight. You need to be able to create the small little mismatches to maximize your chance of winning a team fight.
compared to Rockets, 3,400 to 1,600, but they've
Got
had a tough
Banny
time
fly
keeping
in.
Rockets alive. Rockets with
Kumat
6
had no
nasty
heal.
hits
Munchkin
off here.
killed Kumat inside, and nobody is contesting the point.
We're seeing Flutter get pressured hard at all. They're
They're
going to switch
trying.
up to a Genji and try and get on him. I mean, we've discussed it. Flutter is generally a little bit more of that passive player. Will actually use space a bit more, not get super in the enemy team's face, but that kind of works out here when it doesn't seem like there's really much intention at it.
You mean Munchkin finishes that half? 16 limbs, 10 final blows, 0 deaths. I think it really
So the last team right here,
it's
it's just very good position awareness from Seoul, as well as good timing, because they know that Houston is gonna come pouring down, so they just basically cut in the middle of the rotation and then just kill them right there. So now let's see what the what the defense is gonna do. Soul's defense, they're gonna have play very much a normal dive com in here. Not dive com in here. Try to use the high ground as much as possible. Munchkin gonna control the other side of the map along with Zunba. You have Ru Jaehong gonna play around inside the high ground right here, and with Gambler and Guido playing around on the far back. Very much classic positions, classic Nambani stuff. Now, and now Houston Outlaws gonna play the same comp into this. So let's see how it goes. Okay, a brief look here. Okay, you have Fleda here, you have Zunba here, you have Guido here, you have Gamblers here, and over here you have you have Ru Jaehong, and you have Munchkin kind of play around the side. So with this particular setup, obviously the back line when they get dove on, they're gonna fall back here along with Zunba to help protect them. And at the same time, what they want to do over here is that if Outlaws were gonna come in over here and try to dove on the back, Ru Jaehong, Munchkin, and Fleta is gonna have the angle to which to counter dove on, while with having Zunba playing on the back and playing on the back right here, they would be able to keep the back line safe. So this is very much another classic style defense. In the body here.
He's seen the bad part of it, right? Being that Zenyatta in the back, like getting dove on.
London in stage 2 I thought was very telling. London really played.
So there you have Fleta kill Laser with a flash. So now this is a signal for Houston Outlaws to come in to back off, and so that's to come in to try to put pressure on.
Fell foul of a headshot shuriken.
Pretty far, and you can and as you can see here, you have Munchkin kind of put pressure around the side here.
Want to scout the Winston, know where he's going to come from. Jaehong's actually playing in a weird position. He's playing up on the left hand.
Like here, if you notice here, this particular duel is very important because it's very important, and Munchkin is winning this duel because better than Jake, because because with his position around here, Guido is always going to be able to look at him and give him support, But at the same time, like if Raucus is kind of have to play around with here, they can stuff themselves into a little corner. And also at the same time, if Houston Outlaw want to dive someone, the Discord is not gonna be there because the range is not very good and the position is also not very good. Okay, let's continue.
But right at the back,
He's been putting pressure on Jake when Jake comes through. But I think he's waiting for the real dive
So
to
now
come in.
there's
And he's
a
gonna
dive.
Muma
Okay, let me just back up a little bit to see the response from
Shuriken, something similar
so.
with his own design. That will slow Houston up a little bit.
Oh, and if anyone have any question, feel free to ask.
Leon's actually playing in a weird position. He's playing up on the left-hand side.
Just put
right
it
at
on
the
the
back.
chat.
He's been putting pressure on Jake when Jake comes through. But I want.
Okay, so obviously over there you still have Ru Jae-hong and Munchkin.
I think he's waiting for the real dive
They
to come in.
decided to
And he's gonna
first
dive
commit
first.
in here. There is a fast commit in here, but it seems like the dive was kind of iffy because you have Mr. Muma kind of stuck behind there. You have Kumat and Linzer coming back to Dove Guido, but he is still getting some support from his Mercy. And Linzer die, and Kumat also die as well. So that's very good counter diving from. So, well, let me just return back into.
Right at the back.
He's been putting pressure on Jake when Jake comes through. But I think he's waiting for the real.
Okay, Kumat here. It seems like Muma was trying to pressure Flatter, but not knowing that Flatter have a blade up. Okay.
He's been putting pressure
Sorry,
on
I'm
Jake
just trying to catch like this specific moment where. Okay, Kumat and coming in here. Okay, so you have Kumat coming right down, right inside over there. Yeah, they just simply overextend. They just simply overextended. And so Dynasty just simply back off. They back off and re-engage. Yes, Jake and Chase all the way to the back. That's already two team fight now for Outlaws. This is gonna be the third team fight. They're probably gonna be able to have like 3 team fight to actually cap the point right here. Otherwise the out management is gonna be really stacked against them. Outlaws right now they also have a Valkyrie, but so have 3 out. Currently have 3 outs, and Guido is probably going to have trans after this. So as you can see here, Munchkin is just very smartly control Jake's Tracer. He's not letting Jake have any route to play at all. He just kind of play around the side, just poke a little bit high, and it's very hard for Tracer of Jake caliber to actually unstuck it because you're gonna have to duel with Munchkin, and I don't think he's gonna be able to do him on this particular point.
Right now, Houston may end up getting a blade when there's no support ults on the side of Seoul Dynasty. If they force this fight to go the distance.
Kumat coming in here. Mag,
Not
not quite. I'm not very certain why, but Houston Outlaws sometimes have these weird habit where Kumat would go along and dive, and sometimes he would take like these quick 1v1, which he would win, but more often than not during their slump, like he would just dove by himself coming into here and then just completely make and kill. Linzer there as well. Getting Jason, Munchkin getting Jason well, and that's another team fight just went into the trash. Let me just rewind to this a little bit.
You can just see how much slower Link on the Linkser, and then you're able.
Okay, you have Munchkin. Check. You have Guido right there backing well. Not a very good positioning for Zen, I admit, but it seems like when he got chased by Kumat and Linzer into the high ground over there, he just simply rotate down here so that he can support Munchkin better, which is not a bad idea really. And it seems like because of that, it gave Houston a false impression because obviously over here, if you pay attention, you have Kumat and Lisa trying to dove on here, But the problem is, if Guido is on the way back there, then where the fuck are they going, and who the fuck are they diving to? And
Getting a blade when there's no support ult
so
on the
obviously,
side of Seoul Dynasty. If they force
you
this
have the
fight to go to
Benny
this,
putting up
It's a
the
bit of a pressure
Valkyrie.
from Houston being telegraphed by the use
Didn't
of the
work very
Valkyrie,
much.
but
Kumat
Seoul
getting
respond in kind.
counter
Koi
dove
gets decent
on.
very
He's
early
gonna
on.
die.
Seeing the view from Zumba, you don't see a lot of people sort of fight for
You
helping
have
Combat
Linkser
out there.
trying to
It's one by
kill
one.
a Guido that is in the middle of
Kind
three
of stuff.
other
Linkser was on his own,
Soul
as was
Dynasty
Jake.
players, and
And
now
Houston,
everyone just have to
divided
back
they stand.
off.
Divided they fall, and you can see
2
on the
minutes.
high ground
That
how
means
things
around
behind
2 or
the scene,
3 team fight.
Jake from the Outlaws is actually trying to get a position.
Now they're gonna have
either in that
Pulse
low
Bomb,
ground or
Ruckus,
right side or
Kumat,
high ground.
Linkser.
He's
They're
been
gonna
able
have
to do so.
four
So far because
and
Jay
5
Hong's been
outs
up
up
on the
if they
high
play
ground,
it
so
smartly.
he's taking
So
close.
this should
Well,
so
it's
this should
Jay
be
Hong and
their
then
shot of
also
actually
it
winning
lets Munchkin know he's there, and then you see
winning this
Munchkin
team fight
from his
counterpoint.
POV.
Jake is
Keeping
still
him at
getting
bay. It's
stuff
not like
on
how
though.
Jake plays with that defense.
Okay, so
They jump right
with
on
that they
Rocket,
decided
they're
to
able to
hard
pick him up.
engage because in the past 4 team fight, so would just simply uh, rope a dope. Houston just fall back, count the dope. But in here they decided that they would they want to be aggressive in here, which is fine I guess. They got Rockers to win another team fight, but I don't and also they got Kumat as well. But I don't think but in terms of like trying to defend the point, I don't think it's a particularly good idea because Ryu Jae Hong and Guido waste both of their ult. Jake also wastes his, but since when he's not wasting any of his ult. But now with Rockers, Muma, and Lisa having 4 outs up and Guido transits down, this is gonna be kind of a hard team fight for Seoul to win. Like in defense, for every team fight, you need to have at least one of your defensive ults up. And right now, Gambler and Guido, both of them have no defensive ult up, which is going to be a massive monk ass when who's an outlaws coming in to dive.
In retreat because they've been dived upon.
I think you see how important it is for Houston to have Rockets
Oh, and
alive.
defense in
Big
Overwatch is
part of
all
this game,
about
when
good
he's been
ult
getting time
management.
and taking out early, they've been able
If
to
you
do
can't
much
have
in
good
these
ult
fights.
management,
Obviously,
you're fucked.
Zen's so important right now in the meta.
Which is why Philly having
Rocket's one of the better ones
a
in the
lot
league.
more
They're doing a great
problem,
job of
ironically.
identifying where he is and putting that
There's
pressure on him.
Munchkin here, you have Jake
They're at a risk of being
try
really
to
on
be
the
big
money.
brain. Yeah, so
Now at this level, Linkser opens up though. Oh no, but Fletter finds him. Looks like the fencing master definitely coming out on top, and that's
yep, as you can see here, Slater have his only tier 1 is play. There's a trans. Here in a smart move coming out of the Outlaws here, the so Dynasty's formation is already completely break. So what they decided to do here is they just literally back up into this place where they have a little bit of a safe haven, I guess, and they can still contest and capture the point while you have so Dynasty people just get scattered all over the place. You have Fleta over here, you have Mr. Rujik Kong over there, and obviously the backline is nowhere to be found. So right now it's just Houston Outlaw trying to solidify their hole into this point, which is good for them.
This current patch is one of the strongest 1v1 heroes in the game. Damage output's there, durability's also there.
You have Rockets, over there getting gold for Rujik Home, but got defended.
They're gonna have trouble coming out. It will be their first
Now
for the Outlaws.
Houston Outlaw win the team fight with 2 minutes to actually push, which is not very good. Yeah, this is kind of a bad move from Gamblers. I don't think that's where he should fly to.
Buma and Coolmat just did a nice job body blocking.
So you have Jake over here try to control the side of the map, putting some pressure on the side.
Given away entirely to Soul. And Soul are diving already, by the way.
Also,
Jake is trying to do some sort of counter dive, and it's going to be a 1-for-1. They trade each other
it's
out.
a 1-for-1
Jake
trade.
there. As the pulse bomb just finds
Yeah,
its
but
mark.
there's a res up. But at this moment though, like this trade is completely fine for the Soul Dynasty because now you actually because now even though like they lost the team fight, they actually get a couple of good out from Outlaws. They're gonna have about 2 minutes, which means since they win this team fight, they only have one more team fight to actually push the point for Outlaw. But in Seoul Dynasty, they gonna be able to have like 3 to 4 out coming in, and Outlaws they're gonna have 3 as well. So the next team fight is gonna be really
And the
interesting.
Outlaws are still on the roll. And the Seoul Dynasty actually going to struggle after losing that fight there. This is the double-edged sword, by the way, that defensive dive is. They're going to struggle to have a decent fight now. The payload will probably
Check
get
getting
into
real low right
YGPs
there,
will
and then
just
recall
grab
back
it.
up.
Time Seoul can set up and actually fight again. You can see how far away they are.
Well, they used Primal Rage, and they tried to force out whether it would be Valkyrie or maybe Transcendence if they had. They didn't.
See, you have Jake kind of playing on the high side right here. Like Jake, what Jake is doing with his tracer is just essentially trying to contain Munchkin as well as distract Munchkin enough so that Munchkin can get a good beeline into Raucus, which is fine for him because that's the style that's very suitable for a tracer that's not very aim heavy, but it can certainly get a job done. But the problem is that I think Munchkin is more than that. Yeah, as you can see there, you have Munchkin literally just dash pass back Jake, and Jake didn't really do anything. It seems like what they're trying to do here is that they are trying to beg souls out, and then they're gonna try to counter dove on this little area right here, which is kind of reminiscent of what happened to Houston with the last team fight during their defense phase.
Seoul Dynasty, they probably want to fight this here, Mitch, just to try and force some more
Comes
ultimates
right
out.
in here, Zumba coming down here to contest. They decided to commit trans, and now they're gonna play in here. Yeah. Valkyrie is kind of sucks. And now Flair coming into play and basically show show Lisa how to actually fucking play. Yeah, this play is obviously very much on the back of Flair, but I do think that it was a bit of a mistake from Outlaw to kind of stuff themselves in this particular room. Let me just come
They
back
didn't
here.
have Transcendence, the Outlaws, at the time, but they didn't even force
Jake,
Valkyrie out.
Munchkin dash past Jake to
Seoul
the
Dynasty, they
Terra.
probably want
He
to fight
decides
this
to
here,
come
Mitch,
in
just to try
here.
and force some more ultimates out. You allow Houston
And now
to go into the
and now they
last
force
part
out
of
the
the
trans.
ultimate.
The moment it seems like that Houston's plan is that like they want to pressure in to force out the trans, and then when the moment when the trans coming in, they're gonna play. But Linkzer being the second worst Dragon Blader in the league, obviously he didn't really get much here. Even though the trans down, and there's Flatter just coming in and then just wreck shit. It is an okay plan, I guess, but it's lacked the execution it needed to be, which is kind of another common point for Houston Outlaws, being good team players, but not the very clutch or mechanically good team.
About to wear off. You see the Dragon Blade come out from Fleta.
Oh, and now this is one of those Payton Houston Outlaws thing where they're gonna where Muma is gonna play around behind and try to get a good flank dive along with Jake, while the rest of the team are trying to occupy the attention up. So let me just.
Second or two after the other team, and it's a little bit longer than Houston does.
Okay.
Raucus. Right.
So yeah, you have most of Seoul Dynasty gonna play around here. You can have Muma rotate around here, and they're gonna try to attack from around this side, and to whoever either up here or down here, while Banny, Kuman, and the rest they're gonna try to pressure on here so that they can have a bit of a mini pincer. And one of Muma's strength as a main tank is his ability to win the small matchup. So the problem with that plan though is that so Dynasty it seems like the moment when they know that Muma and Jake was gonna flank behind, they know that they have an easy 6v4 right here with they dove Rikers right away before Muma and Jake can get into position to dive, and now they can just overkill. Obviously, now you have Jake kind of try to pretend he's soon, but obviously he isn't soon because he's Jake. So now Husanola only have one team fight, and somehow Jake killed himself. Like, okay, the when he killed himself right there, he actually cost Houston Outlaw a few more precious seconds, and with the team fight window being significantly thin down there, that's kind of a small brain move. And at this point, the stack is really against Outlaws because they have post bomb. They only have post bomb and uh, primal, and Jake post bomb with, well, kind of shit. At the same time with Soul, they have Monkey-O, they have post bomb. They're gonna have a Diva, and all these tools are very good for situations like this because it can zone out the attackers. While at the same time, Houston Outlaws, like, they have to fight on the point because they don't want to lose the card. So this is like the perfect scenario for Soul to actually defend on here.
And force them away from touching, but they've had that option stripped from them now. They'll have to fight fair.
Munchkin will have a pulse bomb for this next fight.
Pressure here, yeah, Munchkin flanking on the side, Guido playing safe on the high ground. This is very good positioning from Soul over here.
Munchkin, a couple of shots will have that pulse bomb.
They're gonna try.
Has that now. Vanny's taking.
And okay, if you notice in this point, you have Munchkin 1v1. They have Munchkin 1v2, the flagship portal here, temporarily cutting them off from the rest of the team. And then immediately when his spawns is up, he gonna go coming in and kill the tank. Flater get Raucous, which is okay. Flater gets Raucous, kill him, and Muma uses Primal Rage to kill Guido, which is fine. But the problem with the trade though, is that at this point, Souls are gonna have better spawn advantages than Outlaws, and Ru Jae-hong is smartly committing his Primal Rage over here to strike everyone else over this side. And right now, this is a very good 1v1 for Zunba against Jake, because Jake's just whiffed his post bomb really hard. Like, if this post bomb was up and he landed on Zunba, like, Houston would be able to capture the point. But nope. There's Muma coming in. Yeah, there's a the blade didn't get really anything because there's a zoning. Self-destruct actually get Banny. Christ, what the fuck? Now Muma just kind of there. It'll be dove on. The reinforcement is coming back.
So low, he has to recall now, but Lynx is also about 20 HP. He's down. Overtime ticking. Is this happening? Yes, the Outlaws are being held out here in the money as well.
And that's the end of that. So overall, I think one thing to note is that Soul has very good engage. It's not the same level of engage they usually had with Mirror, but they aren't certainly just like going ham in 24/7 all the time. Sometimes they decided to hang back a little bit, kind of dive a little bit. Sometimes they like to be really aggressive. Sometimes they decided to cut people off, and that's very good because you don't necessarily need to play the same way every single time or engage the same way every single time. As long as you can give like a lot of looks to the opponent, you can certainly catch them off guard. At the same time, like, they also have very good protection up the back line because Guido, obviously his position could be a little better, but usually Gambler and Guido are in position where they don't usually get dove on, or it's gonna take a lot of resources to actually successfully dive onto them. Lastly, I think another thing is that Fleta and Munchkin just simply outperforming their counterpart over Houston. Now, with Houston, one of the things I noticed with their problem is their rotation, because some of their positioning and a rotation have been like really odd. It's like they're trying to fit the way they play in stage 1 into stage 4, and obviously Mercy isn't the Jesus incarnate that she once was. So this caused a lot of problem, and also at the and it's not and the backline being shit at they were. Rockers being out of position, getting dove all the time. You have Benny die to self-destruct like every other day or so. It seems like they are really they are underperforming really hard. And at the same time, they aren't getting the value that they needed. Like with Fleta out DPS Linkser, obviously Benny power boost is kind of wasted, and also at the same time Raucus own Discord orb and his DPS is also kind of suspect. And lastly, obviously, you're gonna have to talk about the DPS in Houston, where their DPS is just kind of crap. Check didn't really get anything much done as Tracer. He doesn't really control the area well. He doesn't really engage well, I would say. And also, Munchkin was constantly winning these duel where Jake just couldn't get Munchkin off of his back. And at the same time, Linkzer's inability to get a good play, as well as his Widow just get completely shot on, just add on to the pile. And it's not something that surprised me, I would say, because uh, Houston Outlaws roster, they are not a very dynamic roster. Their roster, I think, is very inflexible, and a lot of their players are just kind of like glorified one trick. Because if you think about it, Kumat, he had been locking on Diva for like God know how long. You have Linkser, whose good DPS is Widow and maybe McCree once a Blue Moon. You have you have Jake, who's getting better at some of the other character, but his Junkrat have been kind of stay the same, and that's kind of bad. And he also resort to use it as a crutch character as well, which is not very good because now everyone in the league is like, okay, as long as you can pressure Jack, you can expect the Junkrat, and at that point you're giving away a lot of your game plan to the other team. And also at the same time, uh, at the same time, Tyrone being the coach of Houston is also kind of funny because if you look at the history of Africa Freak Blue, he also is a very inconsistent coach as well, because AF Blue sometimes like they got a hot streak and then they fell on their black and they're back again, and there's certainly a lot of similarity. If you really think about it, when it comes to AF Blue and the current Houston Outlaws. So overall, either stage 4 meta is gonna help us Houston Outlaws, or it's just gonna make them fall flat on their back again, which make the whole thing about them being a patch team is gonna be a little bit more than just insulting. And good for Dynasty though. Like I know some people are really getting really hot and bothers about Ruja Hong being on main tank, but I think this is more of a temporary fix rather than a long term solution, because as good as I think Miro and Cookie still have superior stat line, and from a baseline level, Miro still works better. I think it just in this particular match, his Valor kind of shit the bat a little bit too hard. But that's all for um, today's episode of Dissection of Violence. Thank you very much for watching, and you guys can feel free to hit me up at my Twitter, which is Wolf Villainy, my Reddit, which is also Wolf Villainy, and I usually hang out at our competitive Overwatch Discord and around the watch as well. So just feel free to have a ping and hit me up with any questions you guys have. But for now, see you guys later and have a good day.